Hi, my name is Spencer Molliver, and today I'm going to be talking about computers. Now, computers are a complex machine that has integrated themselves into everyday life to the point where some people wouldn't even know what to do without them, myself included. A great example of this are cell phones. They used to be the big bulky bag phones that people had in cars. They needed to be plugged in and have an antenna just to operate, and all they did was make phone calls. Now, you can use your phone for waking you up in the morning as an alarm clock, using it as a calculator, taking notes, paying bills online, checking your email, which wasn't even a thing until computers came around, and it all fits in your pocket. So, and that's just one form of computers. Computers have come in every shape and size to the point where it's clear. Google Glass. They look just like my glasses, but you can have an overlay and see what a menu of a restaurant is with just looking at the sign, all the way to supercomputers that fill up entire rooms and need to be air conditioned to, control cruise missiles and stuff for the Navy. They can also control satellites that are well beyond Pluto, things that we can't even see. We have control of thanks to computers. Now, logistics, a little more down to earth. UPS, FedEx, they all use logistics. That's delivery optimization from a computer running every possible route that would take a normal person ages to do, and they do that in a blink of an eye. Vehicles have computers in them, simple things such as sensing when it's raining, and some cars, have automatic windshield wipers, automatic temperature control, anti-lock brakes, traction control. Those are all different forms of computers just on your car. Now, the medical field has plenty of computers as well. They have computers that tell nurses when to check up on a patient. Pacemaker is a form of computer. It's a timer that tells it when to beat the heart for the patient. X-rays, they were not initially needed a computer, but any form of X-ray that you get nowadays is going to be computerized. Now, some of the most common forms of computers are the big desktop, which you would see anywhere you go in a corporate field. Laptops are very similar to desktops, but they contain a battery as a power source. They even make computers that run on solar power. All the traffic signs that say slow, danger ahead, those are solar powered computers that they just tell to portray text. So the big supercomputers, servers like Google, they have how many millions of people that have email accounts. That's a different type of computer where it just saves people's information. Now, boil every one of those computers down into basic parts. They're going to be made of silicone and copper or other conductive materials based on the need. Now, the silicone, if you were to open it up, would be the green part, and the metal are all these pins. If I flip it over, now this is the motherboard, and this is what every piece of your computer needs to plug into. Now, even this needs power. Now, this is a desktop motherboard, so it needs an external power source that you plug into a wall. And you plug that in here. That powers the motherboard. The next part of the motherboard is the CPU. To equate this would be the engine of a vehicle. This says how fast you can go and how well it runs. With a bad CPU, your computer is not going to perform very well. Now, this is your RAM, random access memory. To, again, equivalent it to a car, it's your air intake. The more RAM you have, the more air you can take in, and the better it runs. Going over here, we have these 4 slots can be used for accessories. So say I want to have Wi-Fi on my desktop. You can use one of these slots to plug in a Wi-Fi adapter. Now, this orange one's a little bit bigger. It's meant for graphics cards. If anybody that plays video games or 3D modeling applications, they're going to want a graphics card externally because the one on the motherboard is not going to be very powerful. We got these ports up here, which these 4 are where you would plug in hard drives. And hard drives are where you store all of your information. If a hard drive goes bad, your computer won't remember anything that you've done on it. This blue strip right here, it's hard to see, but there are little gold pins inside of it, and that's what you would use to plug in CD drives or DVD drives. Now, one of the next parts, and the last part that I'm going to talk about, is these 4 parts down here So starting over here, we have green and purple, and that's your mouse and your keyboard respectively. Now this is a VGA port. It's where you would plug in a basic monitor. Wouldn't be HD or anything, but that's not what this one was for. These next few spots are the bottom four are USB, where you'd plug in your mouse or keyboard if you had one like that, or even a USB memory stick or any other device. You can charge your phone from these ports. Now this one right here is a gigabyte port, which is used for internet. And then these guys are your microphone and your sound and another sound port respectively. So I mean, and that's everything you would need to run a computer. Now you don't actually need all of those parts. You just need the basic ones, which would be your power supply, your motherboard, your CPU, and your RAM. Everything else is just to make it look nice and be easier to operate. So lastly, computers need something to control them with. That's your keyboard that looks like this, or a mouse. Now these are the basic peripherals. More modern stuff such as your phone or even laptops now are going to touch screens, so you can skip those completely. A lot of people still prefer them due to ease of use. So to round it out, computers are incredible in what they can do, especially if you use them correctly. They come in a variety of different shapes, down to so small that you can't even see them, or it's Google Glass is just transparent and it would look like a normal pair of glasses. And anything you can imagine that you need to do, somebody can or has designed a computer to do it.